You know, despite all the problems that USC had with Clay Helton as head coach, Steve Sarkisian, Lane Kiffin, even Paul Hackett, could have been much worse. They could be what Arizona State is today. Hi, I'm James of Faithful Angelino Sports with your Week 5 preview of USC Trojans football against Arizona State. If you enjoy the content we provide, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. We do talk USC football here. Now, the thing that you should know is this. I love talking X's and O's. I love talking stats. I love talking how teams are going to win. But this is a fait accompli. USC is going to win this game. It's not because Lincoln Riley is going to outsmart the Sun Devils. It's not because Caleb Williams is the superior quarterback and a Heisman candidate, or that the Trojans defense has a higher turnover ratio than the inflation rate under our current presidents. It's none of those things. It's because right now, there is no more toxic environment in any more Power 5 football program right now than Arizona State football. They are completely out of control, and you have to be organized, both off the field and on the field, to be able to compete against some of the better teams in the nation. To get 11 different people to function as one unit, everything has to be in complete control. There's nothing in control over at Arizona State. It's not even close. To recap, before the season, there was an alleged recruiting scandal that was so profound that the players escaped the school. They escaped the team based on the rumors alone. 5 assistant coaches lost their jobs between last year and this because of that. Then Herm Edwards, he loses his job. And a story broke that he was terminated on the field moments after the game when ASU lost to Eastern Michigan 2 weeks ago. Now, you might sit there and go, wow, it was kind of messed up the way USC fired Lane Kiffin. That is worse, okay? And since then, we're getting even more stories. We're getting stories that race played a role in Edwards' dismissal. And there's this crazy one in The Athletic, which, by the way, The Athletic is a news source that I can trust. They claim that assistant coaches wanted Edwards out so bad that they shared intel with the Sun Devils' opponents. Sabotage, if that story is true. And could anybody tell me, with a program as crazy as that team is going to be able to upset USC? So why are we talking about it like that, right? I haven't even mentioned the players on the field for Arizona State. The cupboard is pretty bare. They only returned 3 starters on offense, 3 starters on defense. USC, remember all those players they transferred out. USC picked up one of them, linebacker Eric Gentry. This program has been completely poisoned. And now they're about to face a USC offense. Yeah, I mean, they kind of struggled up in Corvallis, but do you think that they left happy? Or do you think that the Trojans came back with a chip on their shoulder? I think they're going to come out with something to prove. I mean, like I said, love talking trends. I love talking X's and O's. I love trying to guess what Team A can do to upset Team B. But none of that applies. Now, Gentry, he's been very complimentary of his former teammates. He was saying they were tough, that they're tough people. Quote, "We went through a lot last year as ASU players. They're built for it," unquote. And that's a very nice thing to say. But again, many of those players that Gentry is referring to ran like hell to other schools. The quarterback, for example, went to LSU. The only player worth chatting up on the current team is linebacker Merlin Anderson, who is an NFL prospect. The secondary, all 4 starters, gone. The new quarterback, he transfers in from Florida, Emory Jones. He's behind an offensive line. 3 offensive linemen, gone. They left. But I do want to share something that I find interesting about USC and ASU before we wrap this up. When Edwards got ran, the sports writers did what sports writers do, and I would know, I'm a former sports writer. They compiled a list of potential replacements. On that list, courtesy of a local Arizona sports guy and echoed by one ESPN talking head, USC defensive coordinator Alex Grinch, named as a possibility. I'm extremely skeptical that Grinch wants that job. Assume for the moment that some of the stuff that I read to you earlier is complete crap, just a portion, right? Maybe Edwards wasn't sabotaged. Maybe race didn't play a role. All Grinch has to do is go up, tap Gentry on the shoulder and say, hey, how bad is it over there? And you think Gentry's going to sell that place? So I'm skeptical. I'm actually very skeptical that the Sun Devils hire the so-called hot assistant coach, the big name that's going to be the future guy. And I can't imagine Arizona State coming up with the money for a big Grand Slam hire such as an Urban Meyer. So it is my firm belief that Arizona State, they're going to hire a retread coach. The type of guy where your brain, here it goes, oh, I've heard that name. And I've heard his name, so he must be good. And then you read about it and you realize, yeah, I've heard that name because he keeps getting fired for 2 jobs because he's mediocre. It's not going to be Alex Grinch, because I can now cite at least a dozen media outlets pushing former Texas coach Tom Herman. There's your example. So to repeat, you could hold my face in a fireplace loaded with burning sativa. I cannot imagine in my most screwed up brain a way that ASU will upset USC on Saturday. Secondly, and more importantly, do not lose any sleep over the Sun Devils stealing a Trojans assistant coach. Now, if you enjoyed this content, don't forget to subscribe to Faithful Angelino Sports, because we talk USC football here. Thank you for watching. I'm James. Faithful Angelinos is a Kian Corte El Queso production. Take care.